tough out there. And you know what? You need some strategies to survive in the workplace. Jobs are being lost, economies are shrinking, and let's face it, AI is going to take some of the work we're doing today. How can you keep yourself relevant and moving forward, moving up in the workplace? I'm going to give you 13 tips I've learned along the way in my career and I've used to help my mentees. Job 1, find a mentor. You need someone to help you career path plan. And doing that doesn't need to be someone who's doing your job today, but maybe has done your job or something like it a couple of years ago and found the way forward, found the way through all of the issues you're facing. And if you can't find a mentor, I'm going to help you. I've got a whole lot of content on how to find a mentor, how to create a mentoring relationship, how to engage with a mentor, and what to do once you've found them, how to use their skill set to help you plan your own path. And here's my top tip on mentoring. Don't just ask someone, will you be my mentor? That's just too open-ended. Ask a specific question or bring a piece of information you want to have validated. It keeps the conversation short and to the point, and then you can decide if the conversation has moved the relationship forward as well to take that next step. Tip 2 is build your experience even before they ask it. You know, permission to play is a thing a lot of us are waiting for. But that's a mistake. To differentiate yourself in a crowded marketplace, you need to do stuff and show skill growth before it's asked. Being a self-starter, as they call it, will make a difference between you getting that next job or promotion and somebody else taking it from you. And if you're young and just starting out, here's my top tip for you. Treat your career like a buffet. You don't need to be afraid of doing different kinds of work because you're just trying everything out. And then after you've got a few years under your belt and tried a lot of things, then you have a sense of what you want to go back and do more of. And along the way, you're figuring out what pays the best and has the best forward future. Track your wins. Nobody's going to know your wins like you. I've had years of working on multi-million-dollar projects where I worked my fingers to the bone, traveled more than 50% of the time, and while I was out in the world making the client happy, somebody else was back at the office taking credit for my work. And it could have derailed my career, but when I found out, I set the record straight. Create a personal dashboard. Have your metrics of your key wins, whether that's delivery, whether that's an outcome success, whether that's client satisfaction figures, or an actual numeric like I won this much work, I did this much cost takeout. And my team rated the highest performing team in 2024. Those are the kind of metrics you want to keep on hand because you need to protect your job, and that's a great way to do it, showing results to the business. And if you're looking for a new job, it's not bad to have that in your back pocket to show to your future employer as well, so that they understand two things. You understand the power of metrics, and you understand how that metric tracking is helping businesses do better, because that's the kind of employee they want, I guarantee you. So my top tip is keep a brag file. Have an email from a client, a colleague, or a boss. And you know, that's not just helpful when you're trying to get a promotion or a raise or show a new employer that you are successful at what you do. It also helps you on those really bad days when you feel like a complete failure. Take that file out. It'll build your confidence back up when you remember all the great work you've done through the years. Make yourself listable. Be easy to find and hard to ignore. Make sure your LinkedIn is up to date, but more than that, the network marketplace is a real thing. You want to make sure you're participating. So like and comment on great articles. Add a new article yourself or comment to something and forward it. This shows you're an active member of the knowledge economy. So here's my top tip for being listable. You want to understand what others see about you. So set your Google to incognito mode, then Google yourself and try it a couple of different ways and see what comes up. Are those holiday pics and high school photos showing up? You don't want that. So you need to make sure you either take down what's not helpful to your career or add things that will be findable, and then check every couple of months to make sure you're getting the kind of brand recognition and traction you want your employers to see online. If you don't think your future and maybe even your current employers are Googling you, you may be in for a surprise. 5, network early and often. You never know where your next opportunity is coming from. And you know, opportunities don't knock. They DM, they email, they ask you out for coffee. You need to be ready when those opportunities come up. If people don't know who you are, if you're not putting yourself out there, then those opportunities aren't being built because you need to build them. It's so hard to network, right? You're putting yourself out there. So here's my top tip. Replace I hate networking with I like learning about people, because that's really what you're doing. 70% you're learning from them. Let them talk about themselves. Find out what's important to them. Find out what they're up to. Find out what kind of connections they might have through a normal conversation. And then 30% about yourself, especially this. Have your elevator pitch ready. That's a pitch that says, here's who I am, here's what I do, and here's the kind of results I create. Here's what makes me passionate. If you can say that in just a few words and in a believable, authentic way, you're on the right track to networking and having people remember who you are. And here's my bonus tip on networking. Keep connected on LinkedIn. If you meet someone, have your QR code ready to share or connect with them another way, but keep them connected. It's hard to follow up on a relationship if you don't know who that person was 5 minutes after you've met them. 6, develop your sponsors because they talk about you when you're not in the room. Now, how does a sponsor differ from a mentor? A mentor is there to help you plan your own career path, but a sponsor is different. A sponsor is your cheerleader inside the organization. So when there are round tables deciding who's going to get promoted, who's going to get a raise, and who's going to be getting that next big project, you want your name put forward, and you want as many sponsors in the room to know who you are, what you're capable of, and what the next step is for you in your career inside that company. So making sure you're talking to executives, have a cup of coffee, ask them a question. And remember, sponsors are people too. So if you can, tell them that you really enjoyed listening to a talk they've given or a presentation of theirs you attended. You want to make sure they understand that you see the value in them. That will help them see the value in you. Here's my top tip on sponsors. Don't think about flattery. Think about results, because they're measured on results. They want to understand what your contribution to the company is and how they can help you do even better. Tip 7, find your cohorts, find your group, your tribe. These are people who you can share and compare with. Now, sometimes there's friendly competition among friends, but don't let that stop you from building your cohorts. Because you know what? The best people to talk to about what's happening in the future are the people you're going to be rising up with. In a small economy or in a small industry especially, these people may be your colleagues for a very long time. So my top tip here is create a growth squad. This can be a group of friends or colleagues who aren't necessarily all at your business, but maybe you've worked with in the past, and talk about what's happening in the workplace, how you're getting ahead, share top tips. Because remember, today you're going to help them, tomorrow they're going to help you. You can be helping each other as you move forward. 8 is invest in your personal brand, your personal voice. Now, you may not think you have a voice or a brand, but you do. Either someone else is going to designate it for you, or you're going to create one for yourself and drive that brand forward. When you talk about your particular brand and who you are and how you fit in, your brand is that message going out to your sponsors, to your mentors, to your cohort. These people begin to build their identity of you based on the kinds of things you're saying. So remember to keep it positive, be specific, be measurable, and be meaningful. So my top tip is create a one-liner for your brand. I'm Liz Hector, and I'm the problem solver. I'm Jody Smith, and I really understand our B2B customers. So know what you're about. And spreading that message consistently builds your authority, your expert authority. 9 is to keep learning relentlessly. If you're worried about technology, always be learning. That can be watching a YouTube video, that can be getting an online certification. And remember, learning on the job is one of the cheapest, best, most effective ways you can continue learning. And if you want to know more, I've got links to everything below about how to learn on the job and also what kind of certifications may help your career. 10 is negotiate early and often. Learning to negotiate is a skill that is fungible. In other words, you can use it in a lot of different parts of your business. You can negotiate staff allocation, other kinds of resources you might need, or access to certain subject matter experts. But also you need to learn to negotiate for yourself. Learning how to negotiate for yourself and advocate for yourself is one of the best ways to get raises and promotions so you continue to move up your career path ladder and also maximize your lifetime earnings. What's my top tip for negotiation? Learn how to prepare for negotiations and document your wants and needs. And a big one for me is guard your energy like a CEO. More and more you're hearing people talk about this. I've been talking about it for years. I don't guard my time, I guard my energy, because that is the limited resource you really have. Everybody has 24 hours in the day, but not everybody has the same amount of energy. This is where you can differentiate when you're using your energy effectively to move the ball forward for your company and for you. Ambition without boundaries often leads to you doing somebody else's agenda. Great for them, not so great for you. So my top tip to you is know your energy givers and your energy drainers, and know how to reduce the drainers, increase the energy givers, and protect your calendar like it's your paycheck, because at the end of the day, it is. 12, lean into your personal leadership style. Everyone has a leadership style. I've written so many articles about this because it's important. Understanding whether you're naturally a visionary, a cheerleader, or something else is critical. So lean into what's already working for you and build out those areas you find are weak and are keeping you back from being the leader you know you can be. And point 13 is really important and brings us full circle. Lift as you climb. Pay it forward. You know that mentor and that sponsor I talked about earlier, becoming that leader you want to be? Well, leaders give back. So after you found a mentor and built your leadership skills and built your career for a while, then start to give back. My top tip is every month do one lift move. Give someone a reference. Answer someone's question on LinkedIn. Or take someone to lunch and ask them how their career is going. Lifting others helps you become that mentor, sponsor, and leader you want to be. So getting ahead isn't about working harder. It's about being clearer about what you want, how you're going to get it, and how you're going to create results for yourself and others to make sure you stay on track. If you want to know more about any of the things I've talked about, check out the links below or watch one of these videos. I hope you found this information helpful. If you did, give the video a like, consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you next time on ProjectSkillsMentor.com. Bye-bye, everybody.